from all of us.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm delighted to be on your program and I look forward to making some contribution, although I'm not an expert medical doctor or scientist, but as a businessman, I will give you my prospectus.
Thank you.
Prospective, yeah.
In fact, as Hardik was giving some kind of background, and there are some new audience also. So this is an initiative we started more than a month back. This is our episode 7. These episodes are getting conducted as an initiative of the mentors of Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog. So Ashin, who is the head of Sapio Analytics, he's also part of Niti Aayog. He's also the regional head of that. I'm also part of Niti Aayog's mentor panel. So other people are also involved. So we thought of this and it's shaping up well. Of course, Hardik, Ripal, they have been supporting a brilliant way to us. The sessions are getting recorded. These sessions, we are talking on different aspects of global economy. We are talking different aspects of medical. We are talking different aspects of the innovation and all. As you rightly said, end of the day, the youngsters also have to be the they have to be at the forefront in terms of, if I talk about shaping India 2.0 or the world 2.0. So that was the precise idea.
I also believe that we are very fortunate in these days. We have social media, we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram to spread the information. Information is very, very important, and we need to really bring information revolution in India. So people are aware, and they are aware who to select, who to elect, rather than just casting vote in the darkness. So people like you can really make a huge difference to the strength of democracy, because democracy depends on the quality of electorate. So this is very important. That I also try to send you WhatsApp, because that's my contribution to Bharat Mata. I can send as much information I think relevant and as possible.
Yeah, thank you. It was quite enriching. For the audience, I'll be giving a quick introduction to Ramiji before I will request him to the background. So if I look at him, this is for the audience. I think his journey is like a Bollywood or Hollywood film. Honestly, Ramiji, I would not be surprised. किसी दिन अगर ऐसा movie कोई आ जाता है Lord Rami Ranger, it's possible.
My journey, I give credit to India because India is a secular and democratic country. We are taught to use merit, not race, religion, or anything. So we had to compete with the best in India, best in UK. So, religious countries, where people are given artificially a head start, that all the other people who do not subscribe to their religion are made second class. The story of Pakistan. And so therefore, it is very important that we remain a secular country where meritocracy is rewarded, where people are respected on their merit, not on their race, religion, or gender, because we must respect people's ability.
Thank you. So for the audience, a quick background of Ramiji. Ramiji was born in the same year we got independence, 1947. He is the son of the freedom fighter Shahid Nanak Singh. It was a tough time in 1947 when around 600 students were conducting a peaceful procession against the division of India, and unfortunately his father lost his life while saving the students. Ramiji's mother was a teacher and brought the family up through immense difficulties. 5 of Ramiji's brothers went on to serve the Indian Armed Forces commissions officers. Ramiji's mother has been given the title of the proudest Indian mother by the Tribune newspaper. Now study in UK, study in India, higher study in UK. A starting job at KFC, an entrepreneurship journey with mere £2 at pocket and a second-hand typewriter. And from that, at the helm of Sea, Air and Land Forwarding Limited and Sunmark, the kind of where you have won an unprecedented 5-time consecutive Queen's Award for the enterprise of the international trend. I think, I won't be personally surprised if you get actually a movie on you in future. Again, Ramiji was made member of the MEO. There's the most excellent order of the British Empire, which is in the short form called MBE in 2005 by the Queen. Had his honor elevated to CBE, who is the commander of the most excellent order of the British Empire in 2016. He also is the chairman of the British Sikh Association, and he was appointed as the joint chairman of the Conservative Fields of India in 2018, a group affiliated to the Conservative Party, which aims to build stronger links between the party, the British Indian community, and India. It's a formal welcome, Ramiji, but definitely it's a very brief. I could only share about you, but for the audience, it would be great if you can bring some shade of your kind of life.
Amitava, thank you very much for the understanding. My journey, whatever could go wrong, went wrong when I was born because the country broke up. We lost our ancestral home. We lost our breadwinner. We lost, our everything. So we arrived on a refugee train to India in a place called Patiala, where Maharaja of Patiala had opened refugee camps. So my life started age 2 months old with no father, but with a remarkable mother. She was so determined, even though her family said, give the children to orphanage, that you won't be able to cope. You're only 35 years old, and you have 8 children, the youngest 2 months old, and the oldest 14 years old. And she said, I will not give up, I will not give in, no matter what the fate throws at me. So she rose to the challenge. She was very, very intelligent. She brought all the newspaper cutting and certificates of my father, who was a great, freedom fighter and press cutting. She presented that to the chief minister. They said, this is what I was, this is what I have become. You must help me. And the chief minister was really moved. And he said, are you educated? She said, I am up to metric. And he said, okay, I'll get you a job in the kindergarten school. And then he allotted us a free house and gave free education to all our children. But thankfully, none of our, my sibling misbehaved. They all realized that they have suffered a huge catastrophe or a setback in life. So they have to really work hard, and they all worked hard. And it was very easy to join the Indian Army at that time. You do intermediate, you stand for a competition, you pass your written, then you pass your medical, and then you are selected as a commissioned officer after 2 years. So we found that was the easiest way to get into the army and to get out of poverty. So one by one, my 5 brothers joined the Indian Armed Forces, and we were out of poverty, and they were all good. So I was, being the youngest, was a spoiled child, and I persuaded my mother that send me to UK to do Bharat law. I will earn more money with the British qualification. So when I came to UK, it was a cultural shock to me. I had imagined the roads are paved with gold, money grows on tree, and we were treated so badly. In 1971, when I came in May, we were a colony of this country. There was a lot of prejudice, bigotry, and prejudice. So no one, and there was no grant available to study either. We didn't have the money. So I said, I'll return, I'll go back and complete. I made a mistake coming. And I said, before I go back, I've sold my motorbike, I've sold my belonging. Let me make some money then I go back. And the first job I was given was a car cleaner. That's for the state. You couldn't get a job. They all asked for experience and knowledge. And, we were not confident at that time. My language, English, was not very good. But anyway, I got a job as a car cleaner, and suddenly I got a job in KFC as a cook. So that was a better job than cleaning cars. So there I worked very hard. I had the positive attitude. I never gave lip service to my boss. Whatever he said, he liked my attitude, and he started to promote me. So very quickly, from a cook to assistant manager to manager and to district manager. So I was in charge of 10 stores. They said, even if you don't know anything about other thing, but I knew more about chicken than anybody else. So I became a very successful district manager running 10 stores. And then I stayed with KFC for 6 years, and then the company started to sell their shops to franchisee. So I then joined electrical wholesaler, and that's where I done very well, and I then learned how to ship electrical goods. At that time, people used to come from Africa, Middle East to buy electrical goods from UK. Microwave, computers, television, videos, fridges or washing machines, but they had to then ship them back to their country unaccompanied, because accompanied is very expensive, unaccompanied is much cheaper, because the airline do not encourage people to bring big TVs or washing machine as accompanied luggage, because then the airport will not be able to cope. So they give you 15 pound a kg for accompanied, or 1 pound a kg for unaccompanied. So most of the people send their goods unaccompanied. So my job was to collect goods from electrical shops and ship them. That's where I started the company business from a shed with just 2 pound capital. Because a service industry, you don't need a lot of capital. Like doctors, accountants, solicitors, they sell their own knowledge, and they don't need any posh, factories or industrial unit. So, but then one thing lead to another. They said you ought to have to keep a mind open. So a lot of people used to ask me to collect food stuff for Africa. Rich people used to buy a lot of branded product food like Kellogg's, Heinz, McVitie's, all the Beecham, Unilever, Dove, Persil, all these things. So my job was to collect these, and because you had to consolidate them into a container. So I used to consolidate them into containers, and then it dawned on me that these people are having a lot of difficulty trying to source product. Let me help them. If I help them, I help myself. So I started sourcing products for them. Unwittingly, I removed 7, 8 profit center, because now people were buying direct from me, and they didn't have to pay profit to all these different suppliers. And also they didn't have to pay for the delivery cost, and they were getting good product at time. And then business snowballed. I became very successful, because you make profit while buying. If your buying is right, your selling is automatically right. So people could buy better from me, and they could also sell better. And then it dawned on me that there is a market for Mercedes, but there's also a market for Toyota. There's a lot of people buy branded product, but they can't afford the prices of branded product, because the branded product attracts a lot of advertising, marketing, sales, distribution cost. So I went back to the same companies, and I said, look, you make product under my brand, because I don't want to pay you for your marketing, advertising, and sales cost. I'll give you manufacturing cost, and believe you me, the same product, I could get them made 30% cheaper. Yes. So I knew people will taste the product, and then they will, because they will appreciate the qualities the same. So it is very, very important to understand that people acquire certain taste. You can't give them different taste, even if you give them half price. They will not enjoy it. If you like Haldiram product, you will always go to Haldiram, even if you can get cheap around the corner. So the taste was, so that was my whole idea, that I have to give them exactly what people are used to enjoy for hundreds of years. So it really worked a magic. So we grew our company 30% year on year, for many years. And in 20 years, from 0 to 200 million turnover, it was a record. And then the Prime Minister himself came, because when I export, I create job in the United Kingdom. If you import, you destroy jobs here. So exporters are respected, that, because there's so many. I ship 15,000 containers. So the shipping line take business from me, the haulier take business from me, manufacturers, the people who work in the factory. So it's a very big chain, the benefit to the whole country. So 5 Queens Award is a history. No one has them till today, and I dare say they won't have them, because it nearly killed me, trying to get the 5th Queen's Award. Very, very difficult, because your turnover becomes bigger and bigger to grow 30%. For example, we had 140 million turnover. I had to achieve 35 million more on the same year. And that was a mammoth task. So we exhibited throughout the world, because you have to exhibit your product and services. To hidden talent is no talent. You have to go and tell the world what product, what services you have, what benefit you can bring to the table. So we exhibited Russia, Brazil, China, Dubai, India, you name it. We were everywhere just to get a little bit extra sale, and it worked. So we made a history. I'm very proud. This accolade belonged to an Indian guy. The English people look at me and they feel, oh my goodness, this guy. Anyway, but so that's how we started. And the brands are trust. Brand people buy brand because they trust. When they walk into supermarket, they pick up the brand they trust. So I knew how to build the brands. You can build the brand by three ways. Either you spend a lot of money to make people aware, and then the cost will go up. And I didn't want to go that route. And the second one is that you have been in the market 20, 30 years, and people have known this product, and it grows organically. And third most effective method I learned from a mother. Mother was trying to feed a baby, and the baby closed her mouth. Mother force feed the baby, and baby tried the product, and baby said, oh, that's fine. And the next spoon, the baby opened her mouth. So it was confidence built. So I decided to give sample to people, to force feed these people. I said, look, let me give free sample to people, build their trust, build their confidence, because people are very nervous to try something new. So you have to build, so that's it. It worked. A very simple, cost-effective way. I have put my product in 130 countries, and the business is still growing. Yeah, because things are easy when you know how. And, how to drive a car. In the beginning, it was very difficult. Same as business. Once you know your subject, it becomes easy, even for doctors or engineers. So I request to all you, my people, friends, or your listener, that they should become expert in whatever they do. Mediocrity will get you by, but you will not be recognized unless you are perfectionist. And that's how you will be noticed, because you are the best among the rest. So that's how the small things are. And, I can give you a lot of tips on how to build businesses, how to become effective marketeer, if you want me to, but let me know if you have any other question for the time being.
Sure. I think this is a life lesson. I'm sure the audience are going to, have a life lesson for the entire lifetime. So before going to the first question, a quick note of thanks to our supporter, NMIMS, IIT Kharagpur, Radcliffe Life Science, and European Medical Association, International Association of Medical, Basic and Social Scientists, Dronalaya, and UPCO, a PSU set up by Government of UP. Let's start with the first question. The way I have built the question, this is a more kind of both on the world economy as well as the Indian economy, because you understand both the perspective. So my first question is more on the global side. So how do you see that COVID-19 effect in corporate earnings? In the wake of number of bank currency declarations, will there be a long-term impact, or will globally governments will step up to create new opportunities and reshape the business? What's your view in terms of the global side?
Okay, Amitava, first of all, we might be in different boats, but we are facing the same storm, COVID, yes? So therefore, the world has been impacted by COVID, yes? So there is no country which has come unscathed. There might be one or two countries which are less, but because we live in a global world, which is a global economy, that it impacts one another. For example, I give you one very basic example. If you depend on other people for your business, and if they're suffering, even you are very smart, you've done all your due diligence, and you're all done everything, you will be affected. So similarly, even though China, which is the subcontractor of the world, is suffering because people are not buying. Yes, because if there's no demand, the Chinese factories are not churning out the product as they used to. So therefore, as an interdependent world, so we are impacted, one way or the other. So this pandemic has been something I had never imagined, that it could spread so fast and it could be so deadly, that it could be so contagious. Yes, just shaking hand or hugging somebody you could catch. So therefore, the world will never be the same again. Yes, because there will be a lot of industries, they will die. There are a lot of craft which depends on people. They will die because they won't be able to sustain. Yes, there's certain industry will not come back again. That is for sure. But other industry will emerge. This is a revolution. For example, when the coal mines closed, IT industry came up. Yes, so therefore, when Balgadi was out, then the scooter came. So the human being or the world always evolves. It is always evolving. Nobody can stop the evolution of humanity, because we are very versatile. We have brain power. We are intelligent, and we learn from each other. That is our biggest asset. You see, nobody can learn much from their own experience. So learning from other experience is also an art. They in Hindi they say nakal ke liye akal chahiye. Yes, so it is very important. People who can copy, to me, they are very intelligent. Yeah, they are gifted by Almighty to appreciate something good, and they copy. They don't have that much pride. I don't want to learn from anybody. He will be wasting his life. He will not be able to learn everything. But this is why people go to big lectures, big seminars, and they join associations of bodies of the field they're in, so they can learn from the experience of their members, from other people, or somebody who's ahead of them, somebody who's done a bit more. For example, I give a lot of mentoring. I do a lot of mentoring because to the youth, the experience I have of 50 years of business, if I can save somebody's 10 years, 20 years, that 20 years he can use to do something better. So therefore, there should be no pride, no ego when you're learning from anybody. Yeah, you can even learn from the car cleaner. You can learn how to clean your car better. Yeah, you can learn from anyone, even a house cleaner. Yes. So therefore, no pride if you're not learning, you're wasting your. So therefore, the world is impacted one way or the other, and a lot of people have lost their livelihood, a lot of jobs, and a lot of industries have. So it will take time for the industry to recover. But first of all, it depends how soon we find the vaccine. If we find the vaccine within 6 months, then I think we can recover to some extent within 3 4 years. But if we don't find a suitable vaccine for another year, so that will compound the situation manyfold, because every day is very important in the lives of so many businesses. A 1 week delay could mean the end of many businesses. So therefore, I don't think the world will be the same again. We are all affected by the coronavirus, but all we can say is that we, at this point in time, we need to survive no matter what it takes. Jaan hai to jahan hai. So sabse pehle you must protect yourself. All the profit, all the expansion, all your business ideas, we can put them into practice at a later stage. But first thing first, survive.
Great. On the same line, now a lot of governments were in a state of denial about the impact of COVID in its initial days. Even if I see today, US, UK, Europe, etc., continue to face the challenges of late start on the health of people. A similar situation is now seen on the economic front, where the growth is expected to be low, the fiscal target of 2020-21 exceeding budget by a large margin. There is no doubt about it. Yet, most of the countries are in the state of denial. Where do you think this positive feeling stemming from? What is your view on it?
My thoughts are very simple. The government are in a very, very strange position, because first thing first, they don't want to create panic. because the minute they create panic, the panic buying started. If you remember panic buying? People were buying everything from toilet roll to everything they could buy. And the toilet roll was selling in UK £10 a roll. Yes, normally which is 20p. So the black marketeers will jump on the bandwagon and they will start hoarding. So the government has to be very, very careful that they don't alarm the public unnecessarily. Yeah, although I take your point, but again, you can also appreciate the point. If I start, as a leader of my company or a journal of the army, if he start panicking, you can imagine what will be the morale of his soldiers. Even if he's scared inside, he cannot let his fear come to disturb his soldiers. So it's a very, very difficult act for the government. So they are trying their best not to create this panic. At the same time, they are now resigned to the fact that this pandemic has to be treated, this has to be treated with the total commitment and all the resources, because if they don't, then they'll have no country to rule. So I just want to reiterate that the situation is very grim and you can't hide the news because the social media is very active. People will get to know, but the government has to put on a face that, carry on, but at the same time, they're taking precaution, etc. So no panic. They don't want to create panic in the country.
Great. Now, if I see COVID-19, unfortunately, everybody has become an expert. Whether it's a medical expert or finance expert, everybody is giving a lot of gyan to RBI and finance ministry. All countries are facing the same problem. Now, I have a very interesting question from the RBI point of view. Now, there are now calls from certain quarters for the RBI to print money to finance the rise in the fiscal deficit. And this was a practice which was established in India, but however, this got discontinued since 1997. But right now, there are a lot of talks are going on that RBI should be printing money and all. What should be India's approach considering this COVID? Should India go for the risk to print and spend, or should there be a proper structured approach they should be having?
Amitava, first thing first, I will urge people not to listen to Tom, Dick, and Harry. They should just listen to the expert, specially appointed by the government, chief medical officer, or what the government bulletin says. Everybody has an opinion, yes, rightly or wrongly. So that is number one. Number two, although we are in a very, very peculiar situation, we need to survive, but the saving grace is that we don't have to buy new car, new house, new furniture, new electrical goods, all the extra expenses which we were incurring as a normal country, we don't have to incur. So therefore, we can just get by with the same clothes as long as we have a personal hygiene product and food. Yes. So the first aim of any government should be to provide food and personal care product to people, sanitization, sanitary, so that they can maintain hygiene and they can stay alive. So rest, all these things, massive bridge building, road building, program can come to a halt for the time being. Yeah, expansion of railway, expansion of airlines, because we don't need those for survival. What we need for survival is food. So government should make sure they should give as much support to people. They should have free food outlets, like gurdwaras and temples, or mosques. They should provide free food to people, or people can get some help from the government. That's very important, because if people stay alive, they will be able to generate money for the government. They will be able to look after the government later on. So that is what I say. I would not like to recommend government to print money it will only increase inflation. And you will bring a bag full of notes to buy a bag full of flour. So that will be counterproductive. So just manage the economy will shrink. No doubt it will shrink. Yeah, because it's not the fault of the Modi government or the British government. It's the fault of this pandemic, which has caught us unprepared. Nobody had the idea of the severity or the deadliness. So therefore, I will not recommend printing money right, left, and center. I will recommend that the basic need of people by the government, the police station, the army, all the paramilitary, they should mobilize in providing people whatever help they can, just basic food, basic hygiene product, and people can make do with the old clothes, they can live with the old car, they can live with the old cycle, nothing. It is just time to survive and give as much help you can to your medical scientist people to find a cure for this deadly disease. So that is what my recommendation is.
Great. Ramiji, on the same line, if I talk about the banks and non-banking finance organization, they are witnessing a quick rise in the non-performing asset. Because whether it's an individual or the self-employed or probably micro or small medium businesses, there is a problem they all are facing and they are defaulting in their bank loans. This is a challenge. So all banks are kind of either is a hit or probably they are also restructuring their lot of strategy. How to deal with it?
You see, in the UK, the government has given a holiday period. For the mortgages, for the bank loans, they are given 3 months breathing space that you don't have to pay any loan or any mortgage, home loans for 3 months. So I would recommend the Indian bank should do the same, give them a breathing space for 3 months until these people can go back to work or the economy start to recover. Otherwise, you can't get blood out of a stone. If people are already suffering, why compound their problem by demanding something they just can't deliver? So I think we have to use our, we are, as I said, we are all in it together. We have to help each other. I'm all right, Jack approach will not work. So therefore, my request to all the authority, the governments are that they should think this problem is our problem. It is not individual's problem. It is our nation's problem. So therefore, we should show empathy wherever we can and give people breathing space. Don't send any demand for car loan or scooter loan or house loan, for 3 months, let's wait. And also wherever people need some help, government should pay them enough for them to be able to buy their food. The government department should see, like a pension, you get 20% or 10, whatever. So government should pay them salaries, maybe reduce salaries because the people's expenses are reduced. They don't have to travel to work. They don't have to buy petrol. They don't have to buy all sorts of things which normally associated with traveling to work or to going about. We're not going to restaurants. We're not going to cinema. We're not going to theaters. So therefore, all we need enough to survive. The government department should reduce the salaries because we're not even paying children's fee or the bank loans. So that's how it has to be used collectively with a great deal of imagination. India must survive. Indian must survive this pandemic. That should be the slogan, no matter what it takes.
So Ramiji, since you talked about this EMI holiday, so India government has also declared an EMI holiday, but I wanted to know what is the methodology, what is happening in UK. Like for example, if I talk about April, May, June, if 3 months holiday is already applied, is it something people are only going to give more 3 months holiday or probably more 3 months EMI, when the date is getting extended, or is going to be a compounded interest?
Amitava, this is the situation that you have to give them 3 months at a time. Yes, but you will have to keep giving them till the person is able. If I'm not able to pay you, there's no point you punishing me. Yes, so we have to use lots of common sense and imagination. So you have to grow by 3 months and 3 months. It's not the end of the world. We will find, we have to be optimistic. Already I'm told the government of India will launch a vaccine on August the 15th, on our Independence Day. So that's good news. So our main concentration at this time will be on the finding a cure, vaccine, and inoculating all the people as fast as we can so they can go back to their normal routine and start generating, start pushing the economy forward again.
Great. Before asking the next questions for the audience, you can start typing your questions. Please try to avoid any kind of controversial questions because let's utilize the platform more for the learning purpose. So Ramiji, you were talking about your life journey, and that is an absolutely brilliant journey with a lot of life lessons. I'm sure there are a lot of learnings you've had.
Huh. I can give you, while these guys are coming up with questions, in the meantime, I can give you some pieces of nuggets for the audience. The rule number one, that you must not rush to do your business. You must learn the rope first. You must work for somebody in the chosen field, in the business you are. If you want to go into the printing industry, then you work in the printing industry with other people, expert, to learn the ropes. If you jump in the deep end, you will make mistake. हमारे हिंदी में बात होती है कि if you want to fire a gun, use somebody else's shoulder. When it pushes you back, it doesn't hurt you. So if you make mistake, it is not your loss because you are working with somebody and you're surrounded by experts and you learn very quickly. So after you have become expert, you have become number one in that business. If you're bad in Bombay, you're also bad in Calcutta. So if you're not doing very well in their company, then forget it. So you have to go. If you're a mediocre, you're not so you test your mettle working for somebody. Yes. So having established the fact that you are one of the best, you're producing outstanding, that is the type you can ask yourself question that you are now ready to go your own way because you have shown them, you manage their business, you produce result. And then when you start your business, you must never try to expand that business very, very quickly by borrowing money. Yes, because you can borrow money to expand, but you don't know whether it will expand or not. Yes, so the best way to expand your business is out of your profit. If you don't make profit, don't expand. It'll be a fallacy to borrow money from bank and put it in the business which is not growing. Yes, so these are little common sense. And I always give them 5 principle, which is very important in life. First thing first, a person should always preserve their self-respect. Nobody should insult them, that they come to work late, they're dressed very badly, they lie, they cheat, they're lazy. All these things, you must not allow people to treat you like a rubbish. It is up to you how you conduct yourself. If you become an asset, you will be respected. Number 2, you must show commitment. No matter how clever you are, if you're not showing commitment, it's a waste of time. Yes, people, if you're watching clock all the time, and you will keep on watching clock while the other people who watch their work will surge ahead. Yes, you also have to have ethics. Yes, if you're not ethical, I'm all right, Jack, you're giving customer bad deals, they won't succeed, you won't succeed, they won't come back again. So therefore, it's very important that you work hard for the success of your customer. You make sure that you give them good prices, good product, and don't oversell them to make their money block or stock is blocked in the warehouse. So therefore, you have to use them as extension of your business. And you work and think that this is my soldier, my customer, my soldier. He's competing in the same market where other giants are sitting. So I want to make sure that I give him so much strength that he can come back alive. Yes, if I overprice him and shortchange him, whatever. So that is ethics is very important. Ethics are even important when you're working for somebody. You must give them pound of flesh. They paid you salary, they paid you holiday pay, sick pay, pension. You must make sure that these guys get, and then they will promote you. If you're not fit for small job, you're not fit for bigger job. So therefore, if you can't ride a cycle, forget about driving a car. So therefore, be perfectionist. Yes. So ethics, when you're working for somebody, ethic to your supplier, you pay them on time, ethic to your employer, you are loyal to them, you're not doing anything, ethic to your juniors, you train them, you don't treat them with contempt or just like a typewriter, do this, do that. You explain the rationale behind your instruction so they can understand. And the fourth thing, you have to have vision. Without vision, you're a headless chicken, unable to find your destination. You've got to have an aim, an objective, and then you have to work a strategy how to achieve that aim and objective. Yes, so aim and objective, dream big, have big dreams, because when you dream big, then you work to achieve those dreams. And the finally is empathy. You have to empathize with people, put yourself in their position. Yeah, how would you like to be treated? So empathy for other is very, very important. You know, you empathize with your staff, you empathize with your customer, your supplier, you know, all sorts of people that you're a careful person. You don't take advantage of anyone. You actually make sure that they benefit from your expertise and knowledge. Yes, because most of the customers who come to me, some of them have just started, you know, today, and they should benefit from my knowledge and expertise, because when they benefit, I benefit. So it's all about using little common sense. You don't have to be Harvard or Cambridge graduate. You know, I had nothing, no father, no elite education, no family wealth, no school-boy network. On top of that, I was an immigrant in a country where racism was very rife and bigotry and prejudice was everywhere. At one time, they couldn't stand curry. They used to say the curry smells, and today they can't get enough of it. That just shows how people change with time. Perception. We have to change people's perception. Whatever perception they have, we have to go and tell them about ourselves. So always, you know, try to explain to them yourself and what benefit you can give, what, you know, what is your forte, what is your strength. So very simple.
That is fantastic, Ramiji. In fact, on the same line, now if because me, Ashwin, we do a lot of work with the current age entrepreneurs and the leaders. Now, the challenge what we face that, you know, there are a lot of times we see even a fantastic product or a fantastic startup is also getting failed. But if you look back, it's not about the product is bad. It's the challenge comes, as you were rightly mentioning that attitude or probably, you know, the leadership skill and the learning curve, there is a problem lies in the entrepreneurs themselves, in spite of the fact that product is good. The challenge is they all aspire to become big, but the problem is that the moment one small failure comes, they don't know how to bounce back. What will be your key advice for that? I'm sure since you have such brilliant journey, you have a lot of similar stories.
Amitava, this is where you have to think deep, yeah, because thinking is very important. We are all blessed with a thinking power, but many people don't use it. How often people sit down in a corner in a room quietly with a cup of tea or glass of beer and think about their solution. Human brain is so versatile. This iPhone 10, 11, 12, people are thinking. Only through thinking, they are building, you know, state-of-the-art buildings, the product, and, you know, so many by thinking. So we have to think. We have to think very, very hard that the repercussion, the ramification of my action. Because if I make a wrong judgment, my family will suffer. I will suffer. My staff will suffer. My confidence will suffer. My ability to do something. So therefore, you can't shoot from the hip. You have to check every angle of your decision. You know, for example, if I'm a married man and if I find somebody else in the street, before I go and chat up that girl, I have to think of my own future. What will happen if my wife finds out? If I drink drive, I have to think. If sharab pike, I get accident, even though it's not my mistake, the policeman will say that you're drunk. Yes? So this kind of thing you have to think. If you don't think, then you are a very dangerous person, that you got a brain, but you never use it. So therefore, coming back to the thing, that so many people try to copy other people. You must never copy other people. You are unique. Your abilities are unique. Their circumstances were different. Your circumstances are different. Yes, if somebody can drink 5 cups of tea, I may not be able to drink 3 cups of tea. So I have to live within my own strength. And I give you one more example. There are people in the outside market who have taken a very big risk. Yeah. And they luckily survived. And we are clapping. What a great entrepreneur. For me, he was a lucky enterprise. He was not a great, he jumped from the 20th floor and so luckily he landed safely. And for everyone who jumped from the 20th floor, 9 break their legs and we don't see them. So every entrepreneur who is successful, there are 19 failure also, which we don't see. So therefore, my advice is somebody who had a very humble background, no father, no nothing. I could not take any chance in my life because I'll go back 20 years. Yes, I never tried to fiddle with the income tax. That's why, I get all the honors from the government because they do due diligence. Has he got an offshore company? Does he has a non-dom status? No hanky-panky, because short-term gains always become long-term losses. Yes, penny wise, pound foolish. So therefore, today I sit in front of you. The honor you've given me is very difficult to buy. No matter how much money you got, guy, you cannot buy the honor. Her Majesty has given me 8 times. The Queen, yes, has called me 8 times to honor me because you are a decent human being. Yes, there are people who are filthy rich. Look at, I don't want to say Anil Ambani. What was the need for him to compete with his brother? Yes, you should not compete. Yes, even we have a very recent case in this country, Lakshmi Mittal's brother, Lakshmi Mittal. He spent because his brother spent money on his son's wedding, he wanted to copy and outdo him. So he spent 50 million on his daughter's wedding, and now he's gone bankrupt, owing 200 billion people. Yeah, he might face jail. So my brothers or my sister, whoever is listening to me, never become desperate. When you're desperate, you will do desperate things. You'll make a desperate job. There's no need. There's no competition. There's no deadline to match. It is up to you. What is your speed? Learn from the hare and tortoise. Remember the story, hare and tortoise? Yes, you keep going. If somebody can achieve in 5 years, okay, well, achieve in 10 years. It doesn't matter. So there you go. So that's my advice, that don't be desperate to copy somebody. We are totally different individual. He may not have peace of mind. He may not be able to sleep in the night. He may be over leveraged. He might be praying, Ram, your income tax, interest rate doesn't go up. So you don't know anybody's circumstances. Live your life. Thank you.
Great. Now we are talking about recession 2.0, whether it's the Nobel laureate Noel Robini, or we had an earlier session where we are discussing about the recession 2.0, and add to it the changing stand towards Chinese products, which may lead to the trade wars and lose-lose situation for all. How can the crisis to be converted into a win-win? Do you see that countries can use this as a great opportunity?
Amitava, every challenge brings an opportunity. Yes, necessity is the mother of invention. If I was not poor, I would not have worked hard. Yes, so adversity brings the best in you. So this challenge which we are facing, I've already written a letter to Prime Minister Modi ji that this is the time for us to become Desh Bhagats. We have to think that we do not want short-term gain. Chinese are giving a product which are not non-essential. They are not something which we depend for our livelihood. We have lived without China for centuries. In fact, we used to export to China our spices and things, and silk used to go from UK. Now they copy because we can't be like Chinese. They're a communist country. Human rights are non-existent. They do not have the thinking power like the Indians have. We are a knowledge-based economy. Our IT industry, pharmaceutical, film industry is a testament to the knowledge we have. Why do you think every blue chip company in the world has Indian CEO? That shows that we are very, very intelligent people. We are the oldest civilization. We had surgeries, we have mathematics, we have so many things, the oldest university. But what we lacked was we could not defend ourselves. Yes, there is a proverb, Ram to har janam mein paida hua, Lakshman nahi hua. We tried to be Ram to other people, but we didn't find Lakshman. We found Ravan in their disguise. They took full advantage of India. They invaded year after year after year. They destroyed tried to destroy it, and to a certain extent they destroyed our civilization. But thank God our civilization was very tough, resilient. We have survived. Yes? So this is what I'm trying to say. We were not able to defend. Now we are a united country. We were a fragmented country, Raja, living a luxurious life, not putting the interest of the people above us. So therefore today, United India, number 5 economy in the world, number 2 army in the world, we are a very, very strong position. And we produce more IT expert, more engineer, more doctor, more scientist than anybody in the world. When we are supplying to the world, because aapke bache, they will leave their family if the family cannot give them a livelihood. They cannot provide them the income. Yeah, rich people, those have big businesses, their family stay with them because they get benefit from their parents. But poor people, their children will go and live in Bombay, and the father is in Calcutta, or if he's in a village, they go to city, necessity. But what we have to do now, the government of India has to do, they have to take those gems which we are giving to other people, give them the grant, soft loan, tax breaks, and tell them, please, you will come with a plan, make those products which are not high-tech products China is making, is replicating our gods even. Hamare Ganesh ji is made in China. Bhagwan Krishna is made in China now. Hamari, sari jo hoti thi, I forget the name, from south, we used to, Kanji or Kyansa sari, Banaras ki sari, something. They are made in China now. So we have to take this challenge because, all right, the Chinese are subsidizing everything. They're very cunning people. Their currency is pegged very low. Yes, for them they are really a war footing. Their people are suffering. They are so badly treated. There's no freedom, but we are enjoying freedom. Yeah, I'd rather be free than to have extra car, because freedom is very important. You have freedom to express yourself, freedom to speak your mind. You have freedom to marry somebody, freedom to live in a country. So we are very fortunate that we enjoy one of the best freedom, but we abuse also, and that we have to stop abusing. Now, coming back to this, when we stop importing from China, there will be more incentive for people to produce product in India because there is no cheap coming from China. So they will make it, even if they're more expensive a little bit. But remember, they're creating jobs in India. The Indian people who are unemployed will be employed, and those people who are employed will pay income tax, and those employed people will also spend money in the economy, and it will give extra boost to economy. So we have to look at a bigger picture. I've written a very critical letter to the Indian leaders that they have never looked at a bigger picture. The bigger picture is India. There is nothing bigger than India. Yes, look at the India and look at the way we can help India. Yes, those people to start with, we should pay enough remuneration to the law enforcement agency like police, custom, VAT, inspectors, or the income tax. So they are not desperate to take money, bribery. Otherwise, what they do, I owe them 10 lakh rupees income tax. I give him 1 lakh and he maaf kar deta hai, 9 lakh. So the government is losing billions of rupees just by not making sure that the law enforcement, a police officer should be a minimum graduate, a police, just a sipahi should be minimum graduate, proper training like Army, Air Force officer, give them free housing, free medical, free education, so they are untouchable. So they are not reduced to taking bribe because his child is sick and he cannot afford to pay his higher school fee. So we have to look in a bigger picture. And believe you me, when we make people pay proper income tax, we will be, oh my God, we will be one of the richest countries in the world. We already have, I don't know what percentage of the world gold is lying in our cupboards. You know, our ladies are holding that gold. You know, that is also culture we have to change. The gold is nothing. It's just total waste of money. We should invest that gold. Yes, government should take that gold on a bond and use that money. You know, we can revolutionize. If, look at me, I could come to this country because the system works. There are no breaks. हमारा तो है ना, आप जाओ, any department you go, आप कल भाई आज क्या नहीं है. So that kind of attitude we have to change, and that will only change when we employ people of high caliber, because we are penny wise, pound foolish. So people should be given incentive. Any complaint should be investigated. Yes, the police, if police कहते हैं खेत को बाढ़ खा रहा है, बाढ़ खेत को खा रही है, if the police are not doing their job properly, then God's forgive us, save us.
Great, Ramiji. If I see the bigger picture, the global politics or the dynamics pre-COVID versus post-COVID, there is a lot of change. How do you see that India and UK can take a bigger role post-19 and they can be the leader in the reshaping the world? Do you see any kind of more collaboration opportunities, or probably, you know, if you see that how the organization as the new age entrepreneurs can contribute more innovatively?
Amitava, the marriage of UK and India, the partnership is made in heaven. Look at it. We both speak English. We are both democratic countries. We are both secular countries. We have a history of over 200 years. We know each other. We have grown up with each other's system. So when an Indian comes to UK, he is home from home. He gets very quickly settled. We are used to all the English literature, English book, English, everything is based on a British system. So what we have to do, yes, he has to become proactive. India and Britain together will be a force to be reckoned with. I will go further that all the Commonwealth countries, yes, we have got historical links with each other. We have fought in the First and the Second World War together, shoulder to shoulder. Yes, we have saved the world freedom. So we have been dependent. And the Commonwealth citizen rebuilt Britain after devastating war. All the Indian doctor people, you know, the teachers, they came, and the workers, factory worker came to rebuild this country. So we are at home, and this partnership, Britain can use India like we use China for making cheap product. Britain can move to second stage. We can produce high intensive labor industry product in the UK. But India is the one who is not giving free movement of goods, because they got two problems. One is the whiskey tariff. India does not want to lower whiskey tariff because Scotland produces a lot of whiskey. And the other is a legal system. The British want to practice in India. So Indian law, because there are vested interest of breweries. They buy this member of parliament, they buy this the lawyers, they tell them, no, we don't want this free trade agreement. Britain is ready. Look, I'm in the government. I know we can have it tomorrow if India opens up the country. And if you open up the country, you will learn so much. It is through collaboration. I will go as far as that. The India government should not give contract to Indian companies. They should only give to those Indian companies who can demonstrate they're collaborating with South Korea, they're collaborating with Japan, they're collaborating with Singapore, so that the technology transfer can come. They can learn from those guys. If you give to 100% Indian, there's a much risk of hanky-panky. More corruption can take place because there's nobody. But the foreign government involved, foreign company, they will be very, very careful that they don't have a scandal, that the foreign company came, yes, even if you tell them they can invest 50%, no more than 50%. So India and Japanese companies, 50%, they should make the roads, they make the bridges. You will see the quality of the bridges, quality of the roads, and we will even get better pricing. There is corruption. 100% Indian is lethal. 100% Indian companies, because they have nothing. They can, कहता रिश्वत देते पकड़े गए, रिश्वत लेते पकड़े गए, रिश्वत देके छूट गए. So that system we have to, कहते अपने घर को ताला लाओ और चोर किसी को न कहो. हमने तो अपने घर में ताला लगाया ही नहीं. हमने इतने से बड़े करप्ट आदमियों को बिजनेस दे रखी है. You know, they are ruling it. Yes. So we got to open up collaboration. With the collaboration, look, I came to this country and look how much I learned. Yes. If I was still living in Chandigarh, I would not have been as accomplished as I am today, because you are judged by the company you keep. You learn from other people. We will learn their practices, and they will save our time in construction time. They save our method. They will give us new method, and India will progress leaps and bounds.
Great. Ramiji, one of the work what Sapio is doing, I would like to highlight here. So in UK, Sapio is partner with a charity organization called ICOM that works with the law enforcement agencies and the support victims while creating more awareness. In addition, Sapio have the data analytics driven predictive policing system for India. What are your thoughts on using advanced data analytics in policing and security in UK? Does that help during this crisis, or probably some more collaboration kind of opportunities you see?
Amitava, first of all, they say hidden talent is no talent. Yes, I didn't know about your organization until last week. Yes, so that means something is not happening from your side. You have to do high-profile events every year in every country, London, Dubai, Bombay, Delhi. You should have a committee, autonomous day, working in different big cities. They do annual ball, dinner, where they recognize 10 people for their work. When you promote a good cause, you promote yourself. Yes, let's have a Sapio ball in London, and let's recognize 5, 6 people or 10 people. First of all, when you give these 10 people will buy table from you. Yes, you will sell table at a premium. Yes, so you got 100 people already. Then you will sell to your members. Then you will sell to corporate companies. You know, they will come to see what you're going up to. Then you showcase what Sapio is doing, what is the aims and objectives are. Yes, you know, look at a man who can make in 20 years, a company I started with £2, it is now in 130 countries. Yes, why? Because I go to exhibit. When you don't exhibit, you know, people are not going to come to you. If you can't, if the mountain will not come to you, you have to go to the mountain. So you got to make small, you know, chapters of Sapio in every different country. Make a president, one chairman. He should have a committee. They should meet every month. They should have a dinner together. Plus they meet each other. Plus they have dinner, and then they also do a worthy cause. It's a win-win situation. Yeah, you have a social interaction with each other. Plus you are doing a wider thing for the society. So I think everything is easy when you know how. So I would recommend that you look bigger picture again. I use the word. Look at bigger picture. And when you decide to do one event in London, I will help you with all my contacts and everything. We can even do in House of Lords. Yes, I will bring even the Prime Minister for you. What more do you want?
Great.
But you have to see that, you know, when I started my business, Amitava, I decided to look globally. I said, if I look locally, Britain is such a small country. Yes, I won't be able to have enough business. I have to look globally. So you have to look globally.
Great. In fact, just to give you one more background of Sapio, Sapio is also advising the government of India on sector-specific technology-driven economic policies. So where I can see probably Arshin is also already there, who is the founder of Sapio. Hardik is there, who was already interacting with you. So we can definitely reach out to you. So there are two threads I can find from this discussion. One is definitely some of your thoughts and the kind of, suggestion can definitely be incorporated in the policy recommendation. And the other thread that you definitely gave, like, how Sapio's different chapters and then the global chapters can be done and what we can do. Probably both the thread can be talked offline and Arshin and Hardik can reach out and things can be taken ahead. I think that will be brilliant.
Amitava, everything is easy. First thing first, you have in India, you have such accomplished people. Have them on your board, have them as advisor, and once a month, once in 3 months, have a Zoom session like we're having with them. Have some ideas because you'll be surprised. Everyone has experience, and कहते हैं जो नकल मारता है, anyone who copies, he will have 4 correct answers because he knew 2 answers himself. He borrowed your 2 answers, so he has 4 correct answers. Then the guy he copied from, uske 2 answers correct. So when you start learning from other people, your experience grows very, very fast. So everybody can contribute. That we have industrial captain, we have medical doctors, we have scientists, we have industrial. Get them on board. This is a very good cause you have. I'm impressed because you aim to do good, and
Thank you.
nobody will shy away from doing good because we're only temporary in this world. Yeah, if we can leave a good legacy, nothing like it. बच्चे याद करेंगे, कि हमारे फादर ने कोई अच्छी काम किया, उसका नाम इंटरनेट में है.
Great. On the last thread, I will be trying to cover 3 questions from the students' angle. Probably it will take around 5 minutes more. So from the UK side, how is the UK government planning on dealing with the impact on the number of international students to UK universities? And how can we ensure that Indian students who had plans of studying abroad are not adversely impacted?
Amitava, there is no problem from the student coming to UK. I give you one example. You see, Indian students have demonstrated that they are such a positive force. They are an asset. So what they have now done, they have given them, you can come, there's no quota, as many people you come, and then you can stay here for 2-3 years to do your job training and experience. The chances are when you're living here, you never go back if you don't want to go back. Yes, because you will get some employer, but you have to work hard, you have to demonstrate. They are only looking for the best out of the best. Yes. Now I will give you a secret. Don't quote me. Promise you won't quote me?
Yeah.
Okay. The aging population in this great country is increasing. Birth rate is decreasing. They need people who are positive, who are product of a secular and democratic country, who can integrate very quickly. They don't live in ghettos like Chinese. Yeah, they don't live in ghettos like Pakistanis. Indians are in every colonies, everything. They don't like living in ghettos. Yes, at the minute Indian guy makes good, he moves to an English guy area. And they have conducted themselves so well. They're not suicide bombers. They are not working against the system. So our reputation is so much better. There was a time, if you went to a bank, they will not give you a loan. If you are Indian, he will give you how much? When? The Indian reputation is so high. I'm so proud to tell you that, and I would recommend, even if you want to work in India eventually, but please spend 2-3 years in a foreign country. It'll open your horizon, it'll open your mind. You will achieve, when you go back to India, in 5 years, what you will take you 50 years. So please look beyond the obvious and always look at it bigger. We are, हमारी भाषा में कहते थे संस्कृत में वासुदेवा कुटुंबकम, that we are citizen of the world. So every Indian has been told from centuries the world is a global village. Yes, so they should travel. Traveling is very, very important. अगर आपके parents can afford to send you abroad, please go abroad. Yes, and learn different things also. And if and I tell you, we have built. Look, I take little credit that we came in this country, that we didn't misbehave. And today our next generation can take advantage. There was a time they will not give us job. I say, okay, you give me job, whatever job, we will prove to you that we will not give you lip service, we will not be negative, we'll be positive, we'll be loyal to this country. And loyalty is a prerequisite for success. Any person who is not loyal to his family, he's not going to go far. He's not loyal to his employer, he's not going to go far. He's not loyal to his country, he's not going to go far. Loyalty, people reward loyalty. If you work, you will get, even if you're not very intelligent or clever, but you're loyal. You know, I married my wife, you know, she's not Ashwarya Rai, yes, but she is loyal. She's very intelligent, homely girl, or everything. I'm not saying Ashwarya Rai is not homely or anything, but she's not as pretty or as talented. But my wife has been a pillar for me. She supported me when I had nothing, you know, because, you know, husband-wife team is very important. If I have to watch my front, yes, I couldn't watch my back. My wife was a pillar. She looked after our children and she worked with me shoulder to shoulder. With the money she earned, we could send our children to private school, and now they're doing so well in their life. So I'm just saying to you, अगर मेरी wife loyal ना होती, मुझे छोड़ के चली जाती, बच्चों को छोड़ के चली जाती, I wouldn't have gone far. So I keep on saying to you, loyalty is more important than anything or looks or education of wealth. Please pay more attention to loyalty.
Great. The last question from my side, as I was giving the context that, you know, this session is also going to be shared with the schools. And, you know, I can say that the school students and the college students are also going to have a lot of thoughts from, and the kind of, you know, learnings as well as motivation from the life journey you have. But the schools, especially which is under Atal Innovation Mission, they have mentors and a lot of innovative ideas they are also bringing and they are getting supported. From your side, do you feel that the school students or probably the college students can bring certain, you know, new ideas or some new projects, whether it's based on technology, based on, you know, AI, or it might be a sanitation based project, whatever it is, from your side, some ignition of the mind?
Amitava, every child is born with qualities. If we think that child is a child, he will remain a child. If we treat that child as intelligent, he's grown up, and we talk to him as intelligent. Yes, if I say to my child, क्या खाओगे? चोची खाओगे? Instead of saying रोटी खाओगे, चोची खाओ, बच्चा बोलेगा चोची खाऊंगा. Yes, he will then replicate you. But if you talk to the child, बेटा रोटी खाओगे? हाँ रोटी खाऊंगा. So children are computer. They are computer. You can program as you want them. You and children at young age, when their brain is so fresh, it's not been overloaded with the so many worries and tension which we have eventually. Their mind is fresh. It can learn many languages. It can learn many skills. But we always underestimate children. Yes, we say, oh, ये तो बच्चा है, ये तो बच्चा है, पहले ही shoot कर दिया. Please judge the child. Yes, so I will request parents that please don't treat your child as a child. He is going to be more intelligent than you, and we are more intelligent than our parents. Yes, because मैं जब था, when I was in India, मैं क्या वो गुल्ली डंडा जानते हो क्या होता है गुल्ली डंडा? You know, yes. My toy was that. I never had a computer. Yes, I never had. The biggest computer in my life was a calculator. And look at my children now. Yes, they go Max this. They go so many advanced TV, internet. So the children are space age children. They are not the children कि हम पैदल जाते थे school. Yeah, मैं फट्टी पे लिखता था. You know, wooden plank. You know, we used to get wooden plank. We used to write, then I used to come and polish it again. Yes, we children have got electronic gadgetry. So let's not underestimate these children. And they are space age. They are but children are a bit nervous. If you don't encourage them, they don't have the confidence to challenge you. Yes, so you be very aware of this, that children are intelligent, they are capable, but they lack confidence. Let's build their confidence, and everything will fall into place.
Great insights. In fact, thank you. It's really important, and I'm sure the students and the mentors will be utilizing in the biggest possible way.
Amitava, if you give me one minute, I just want to show you them.
Please.
I don't know whether you can see this. Yes, that's my
Yes.
autobiography, from nothing to everything. Yes, if anybody wants to read it, it's on Amazon. They can read it, or they can always come to me for any question they have. Through you, you can send me any question, and I will try to deal with them. So stay blessed. You're unique, you're special, and your parents have given you all the love, all the care, and they put all their, they sacrificed so much. They went without new clothes, new shoes, but they gave you the best. So be wary of that you have an obligation, you have a duty to those who done something for you, you have duty to your family, to your parents, your duty to your employer who's given you a job, your duty to your country, which has allowed you to flourish. Yes, and the values. We are so lucky that Indian values, how to treat mother, how to treat sister, how to treat brother, औरत की respect, faith, religion. The diversity in India is a proof that everybody can coexist in India, and they have been coexisting for centuries. Yes, so we inherit certain values. We are a very peace-loving country. We don't threaten anybody, but people threaten us. But now we have to be strong. That's all it is. We have to survive. We have to protect our way of living. It's a necessity, not a choice.
Great. Really, really insightful. And thanks for the time. In fact, initially, when you were talking about that, involvement of the government and probably involvement from the parliament, and I was mentioning, me and Hardik, that we did had Suresh Prabhuji and Kanwaljit ji from, Indian parliament and New Zealand parliament. So we'll talk offline and we'll see probably in some of the session, we can have somebody from Indian parliament and we can again invite you and we can have a fantastic collaborative session.
Will be my player. Now you got a British parliamentarians.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Somebody from New Zealand. Now you have a British parliamentarian from the House of Lords. Yes.
Yeah, it can be fantastic. So we'll structure it offline. We'll structure it offline, and I can say it's amazing.
Look at the message to Indian people. A man from refugee camp can get into the House of Lords where cream de la cream. When these guys sit next to me, they're all the judges, all the bishops, all the ex-chief of army staff or police commissioner, and here I am. At one time, I didn't even have proper shoes, and I have to pinch myself. Are you the real one? So have faith in God. We will sooner or later, we will attain the Lord for which we are meant. Yeah, efforts are in our hand, rewards are in the hands of Almighty God. You do your best and leave it to Almighty. Yes, so don't cut corners, because when you cut corner, you only damage yourself.
Thank you. For the audience, we have covered all the questions. Definitely keep following us. We are going to invite him again for a fantastic panel discussion with a different parliament.
Anything for India or Mother India, because I grew up from India. India gave me everything. And if it wasn't for India, I was born somewhere else. I don't want to say I would have had different values, and those values would not have stood the test of time in this country, those countries which ruled us. And today I'm the most decorated businessman in this country. So that just shows the strength of India. All the blue chip company CEO are Indian. So don't underestimate India. India has arrived. This century belongs to us, and we will prevail, but we will never, ever do anything which will give bad name to Mother India.
Great. Thank you. And thank you for bearing me more than an hour. It's almost 1 hour, more than 15 minutes.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind, sir.
Thank you.